Hey, how's it going today? It's Frank here and welcome to Terror Tuesdays again. And I'm still a bit freaked out by the horror movie I've just seen. It's called Runes, and this movie just left me a bit eerie, and I don't know why, but I had a bit of chills watching it. It's just how the horror movie was, the storyline to it, and just the acting. It really got me a little bit. I was a bit scared. Even though there wasn't a lot in this whole movie, it was still quite a good movie, to say this. At first it looked decent. It got quite a bit freaky. It's about this guy called Will, who's a bartender, and there's a fight at his bar, and he sort of stops it, and somebody customers dropped their phone on the floor, whatever it was. He picked up, and sort of weird things start happening, like messages were going through to him. I couldn't quite make up any of the messages that were on that phone or his phone. It's just it's like the director producers didn't want us to see it. They didn't want us to see what it was saying. I wanted to know. In other movies you can see it, or they tell you. They don't tell you in this. They don't show you, but they show pics and vids though, and it sort of looked like a deep web type of thing that was happening, and there was like heads on there as well, and sort of hand coming out of it, and just some weird crazy stuff in there. And this is the interesting part. In this kind of movie, you would think, because it's paranormal, when he shows it to his woman, like Carrie, he shows it to her and she sees it as well. I thought it was one of those movies where it was going to make him look a bit crazy and there was going to be nothing like that on the phone. It turned out to be completely different, and Kai was a bit freaked out. He then gets a bit aggressive towards her. He also got aggressive to Alicia, who was at one of the other characters too, and he sort of becomes a bit like he's overwhelmed by something, you could say. And there's a cockroach in some scenes. I'll get onto them later. He did see a cockroach, and you could tell something paranormal was going to happen. Not all the time, but in these cases, usually when there is a cockroach or whatever bugs there is on infestation room, there's usually something paranormal. And I thought it was probably the same cockroach that fell into his house, I guess, because he came across it, and it nearly freaked me out. I don't hate cockroaches, but just to fall them on me alone is a bit eerie. And he also, comes across like, some sort of rash on his body and a rash on his armpit, and I don't know. When he was cleaning it, there was blood coming out of it, and something seems to happen to Carrie, right, where she's also under the influence, such as when she's on the laptop, she sort of like sees something, and you see like it looks like going inside a pipe or wherever it is, right, in slow motion. The camera just goes through like that, and she seems under the influence. The first time she looked at it, not much was happening, and Will sort of says, "Oh, what's going on? Why are you what's happening? You need to, whatever you're doing, you need to just close that." Whatever he said to her, excuse me, and she sort of acts a bit kind of like under the influence, that she's possessed or something. She's like, "Oh, no, I feel like I'm just a bit tired. I'm gonna go to bed, You come with me." She seems a bit creepy, the way she was acting. I mean, the acting was phenomenal in this movie. I can't lie on that one. And when he does go to bedroom, I don't know when this scene was, because the second time, she was on the laptop. Her face looked pale, like she was dead. So he picked her up, run her a bath. And when she was in the bath, she was submerged, and he didn't look like picking her back up from the bath. It just was completely black. I don't know how to explain that. And then when they went to sleep or whatever it was, I don't know what scene, if it was in this one or not, he sees like a guy sitting at the table or in his kitchen, and you can't see the guy's face, but he sort of like pukes a little bit. You can hear him puking, like, there was a ritual done here, and you're under the influence. I assume that whatever's watching you is watching you from that way, like where the bedroom is, where his girlfriend is, like where Will's girlfriend is, to be precise. And sort of gets freaked out and there's more tension. He starts breaking up with her. I think because he's in love with Alicia, and he kissed her as well, so he can't live in love with her. He also starts getting visions of like, you know, what he saw, and it was kind of creepy. And with the movie title itself, Ruins is actually like kind of like another name, like in this sort of movie, it's another name for like something to do with like another like beings, can be like trying to join beings or something like that with runes or whatever it is. You have to watch the movie to know what I'm talking about. And there's one character that did get a wound in this movie, and that was the Eric guy that was having a fight like abroad that I mentioned, but I didn't mention exactly what happened abroad. He got his face cut by glass, and then when he's at home, you sort of see his side of his like just open, split open, and Will sort of tries to reason with sort of talks to him. The guy was out of it completely. Eric's important towards the end. I'll get onto that soon. And then he sort of like gets something sort of happens to him before he like loses the phone in one scene, where it was calling him and sort of his hand went all funny. Like it was turning to stone or whatever it was, like he was dying or something like that. And he nearly crashed his car. Somebody takes the phone. Don't know who it is. Bear in mind, he was getting stalked in this movie, and after he got the phone out from some sort of woman he saw, wherever it was. Yeah, that was another creepy part too. And then he sort of has like in the bar scene, he sort of has cockroaches following him in the bar. But I think people don't really seem to be bothered by it, to be fair, unless they didn't notice the cockroaches at his feet. It kind of creeped me out a little bit. Not the cockroaches, but just the film in general kind of made me a bit eerie, and oh man, it just, I got kind of scared. And to be fair, like, I've seen scary movies. It's usually the jump scare ones. This movie would have been perfect for a jump scare. There was one that startled me, which was he went to like a wardrobe and he came across something that came out flying. I forgot what it was. What was it, a bird or whatever it was? I don't know what came flying out. But then he went to and this is the thing I never got in this. He went to the police. I thought he got the phone back. I thought he found it. It turns out he didn't have the phone, but he still went to the police. What evidence? The only license plate he got from a car was number 6. I know what that's meant to represent, but he had no evidence at all. Oh, phone's ringing. He didn't have no evidence in the slightest, and that's kind of, that make no sense. To be fair, no point of him going to the police then. And then he sort of nearly has a fight at the bar as well, and he sort of, yeah, it got a bit freaky, if I'm being honest. And then you see him like just like do some research as well, and it turns out there was some rituals to do it, like I explained earlier, some rituals. And after he had some sort of like, because he spoke to someone called Rosie who took over his shift, and he just F her job and F her whatever it is, right? He walked out and he heard some buzzing noises like bugs, and that's not usually a good sign when, especially in that situation. I thought it was flies. It was cockroaches making those noises. He went inside and I was just like, what's going on here? Eric's house was completely dead. He even said I can stay here for 3 days and I can clean up. Why? Why would you want to stay there? You're best off on the street than staying there, man. Come on, look at Eric's condition. It's terrible. And so yeah, when he was doing that, in my mind I was thinking to myself, is this guy crazy? Is this one of the certain movies where he's kind of crazy and imagining this all in his head? Because I wouldn't be surprised if these type of movies go, or is he the one that's, the things that he's envisioning is actually going to happen, and he's probably already going to do it, or he's probably done it, or whatever it is, right? Not quite the case. I'll continue with the movie, and he sort of, he sort of has a go at Eric, and Eric says early in the movie he has a present for him. He knows those people that, those people that own that phone basically, and they sort of do something crazy. Some rich, I didn't know Eric was part of that. Eric's on the bed, and you sort of hear like Will talking about his wound or something. I didn't quite make out. He was talking a bit too quietly, unless I wasn't focused on it. Got to be focused on a lot of dialogue in these type of movies. and he talks about a wound and being able to heal, whatever it was, right? Or unless he was trying to like possess him or take, I don't know what it was. And yeah, the present that originally was the phone, basically. That, you know, yeah, that we were lost, basically, and it was cracked a little bit, and I don't know what it was. I mean, pictures or something like that. No, if you didn't really see much else on there, and he starts summoning something, and this is the part that will freak all you cockroach phobia people out. Well, no, people that will feel, people that have a phobia or fear of cockroaches, basically. This will freak all of you out. Especially, this freaked me out a little bit too. I don't like these type of amount of bugs that come out like this. I mean, you know, something demonic is coming. There's bugs coming into it. That freaked me out, and you can hear damn near thousands of cockroaches coming out, and that freaked me out because you're summoning, and I don't even trying to get Eve out. Eric was like he was either, you know, Will was either trying to possess him or trying to get the demon out of him. Didn't like he was trying to get the demon out of him to me. And I thought the cockroach was going to go in his mouth. It just covered the whole entire room. And it covered the camera to the point you couldn't even see anything. That freaked me out. I didn't like that. That was eerie in this movie in general. I'll give him this though. At first it's decent. It actually was quite a good movie. Despite the freakiness and eeriness to it. I actually kind of liked it. I'll give him this one. But then, however, the ending. It could have ended with something a bit more better than that. It made no sense. What was he trying to do? Possess him? Was he the demon the entire time, or whatever it was? And it spread on to somebody else? It didn't make any sense. They could have continued a bit more. And this is where his mentality was gone, or whatever it was. But his sanity, I mean, it definitely didn't go, well, it did go a lot, to be fair, but not in the way I expected it to go. Because if his girlfriend saw what the stuff on the phone, he can't be that much crazy. The fact that she didn't go to police either is another thing. And the fact that he took the phone, why would you do that? That's not your phone. You keep it somewhere. This is why it's not good to take somebody's stuff. You don't know what could be harboring in that. I wouldn't want anyone to take my stuff for that. That goes for everybody else. So yeah, that was kind of a bit weird right there. But I've got to say though, it's quite a good movie. I'll give him this though. I thought it was just going to be a decent movie. I kind of like the acting. The acting was just superb in a movie like this. It started off good. I was hooked. The whole part with the phone, it went off. It was not the perfect horror movie, but it was something along those lines, and I actually kind of liked it. It had eeriness. It almost felt like it was like not being watched. Just like you felt you're getting stalked. It just gave me shivers. I'm expecting something climactic to happen. It did kind of freak me out a little bit. And the music, I don't have to talk about the music in these type of movies, but it was quite tense. If I had something tense was happening, it made me feel tense. And it is slightly more decent, I would say. I kind of like it. I'll give them this one. It's a great first movie to watch on Netflix. It's a great start. Would I recommend it? I probably would. Not a lot of people like this, but I would definitely recommend a movie like this. It's a great horror movie. Probably not to watch at night time, but it's good to watch in general any time during the day. My rating, it was a 7, but I actually kind of liked it. It's actually quite a good movie. I wouldn't say it's the best. It's definitely not 10. Probably not 9. I'm going to give it an 8. A solid 8. And I'm being generous with this one because I actually kind of like the movie. So well done. I forgot who wrote it now. I'm going to check. Don't hashtag your name in. Or names. How many people are involved in making this type of movie. But yeah. It's a good movie. I'll recommend anybody to watch. If I miss any important details out, please let me know. If you let me know what you actually think and what you think the fee behind this movie was, like with all other horror movies. No, a lot of these type of horror movies. And let me know in the comments. So yeah. 8 out of 10 it is. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification below. So see you in my next video.